Hello, I am Dr. Blake Myers. I'm a naturopathic doctor here in Bellingham, Washington, and I own Chiron Healing Arts. I'm making this short video to just briefly talk about what naturopathic medicine is. There's a good chance if you're watching this video that you're interested in naturopathic medicine. Maybe you're not really sure what that means, what kind of doctor that is, and there's a pretty good chance that if you're watching this also you are looking for an alternative option for maybe just the symptoms that you're having to get an appropriate diagnosis, or maybe you just want to try some other treatment options that don't include medications. Naturopathic doctors have a really big toolbox. We have herbal medicine, and we have vitamins and nutrient supplements. We have hydrotherapy. There's a huge list of tools that we have. So the first thing I like to tell people is we're not defined by the tool bag that we have. It's the philosophy and the way that we're thinking about medicine. So I would say kind of the core thing that ties naturopaths together is that we have a belief in the ability of the body to heal, that the body has an inherent wisdom in that. And you can take that whether you're a deeply scientific person or a very spiritual person. From either direction, I think that fits well, that there's an internal ability for the human organism to heal. And so that's what we're really trying to facilitate as naturopathic doctors, first and foremost. In medicine, the first thing that's the most important is to have the appropriate diagnosis. So I don't view the appropriate diagnosis as saying, say you have pain in your feet, and saying you have neuropathy. Well, that's a diagnosis, and you could probably Google numbness, tingling, burning pain in the feet, and you'll find neuropathy. Okay, well, Google could tell you that. The diagnosis is really what's driving that symptom. Neuropathy is the symptom. So we're always trying to get at the cause of what the diagnosis is. Why do you have symptoms? Is it a nutrient deficiency? Is there some kind of heavy metal toxin burden? I mean, the list goes on, but really at the foundation, we're just trying to understand what's the cause so that we can then treat the cause. Sometimes that cause is really simple. In the case of neuropathy, maybe there's a really obvious vitamin B12 deficiency. It's really nice when things are that easy because we can just say, oh, that's probably most likely the thing that's causing that. A lot of times it's more complex. We are very complex organisms, human beings, so it's not often one thing. It's a combination of things, and especially if you're experiencing a chronic illness, it's often many different aspects that need to be addressed, and kind of taking this whole picture into account. So I ask myself when I'm working with someone, besides getting the right diagnosis and working at that cause, if there's not one cause, I'm asking myself, how is this disease manifesting? How is it presenting itself in the body? And that helps guide me towards a treatment approach that might be beneficial for a person. So just like as an example, two people can have rheumatoid arthritis, and there's going to be some similarities because there's inflammation in the joints, but the joints might be different, okay? But the way that the person experiences those symptoms and what makes things better and what makes things worse, for example, like one person, even though they have hot inflamed joints, they might feel really good if there's heat put on their joints, whereas the next person with rheumatoid arthritis, they might be horrible with heat and they need really cold things. So just as an example, some nuances of ways that diseases manifest individually. So I'm trying to understand that as a naturopath, and what body systems are involved in this disease process, what parts of the body's natural healing mechanisms need to be supported in order for you to get well. This would be things like organs of elimination. I often am prescribing sweating because it's a huge organ of elimination way of detoxifying toxins that we make in our own body, as well as things that we take in from the outside world every day. So supporting the individual as a whole, if you start to just focus on health that way, you'll start to see improvements. Fundamental things like gut health, digestion and absorption, and so on. So really, as a naturopathic doctor, I'm looking to give my patients answers. I am less interested in a symptom and making the symptom go away, but in understanding why the symptom is there and how can we treat that cause, and then the symptoms get better because the body is starting to heal and it's starting to get well. So I hope this is helpful for you in understanding a little bit about naturopathic doctors and how we think about things a little bit differently. And if you're interested in learning more, feel free to reach out. I can talk to you more about the approach, about the kinds of tools, therapeutics that we use. Until then, stay well.